It was a dark and stormy night. Suddenly a shot rang out. The maid screamed. All right, but that's okay. The hurricanes haven't come yet. And if you guys know what that reference is, you're officially old. But thank you guys for coming to Stone Soup tonight. It's an exciting evening, an exciting month of features. Hopefully we'll be announcing our last feature for September in the next day or so. We do have to make a verification. But our feature tonight is Dexter Roberts, one half of the poetry power couple of Dexter, the artist extraordinaire, and Tony B, the poet populist of Cambridge Emeritus. And I'm very glad and blessed to know both of them. And I've been very fortunate to follow Dexter's artistic journey, his various gallery shows, and I've featured him a number of times. And I'm very glad that we can get a recorded full set from Dexter tonight, as hopefully he gives us previews of his forthcoming work, his forthcoming publication. And it's been a while since he's been on our system, so I'm expecting many surprises tonight. Before we get started, we're going to have the open mic. If there's anyone who does not want to be part of the open mic, let me know in the comments. But otherwise I will assume that everyone wants to join in, as everyone has been regulars and participants in the past. And I'm going to give a little preview for next week's feature, straight to us from Parts Known. I believe he's back in Boston and or back in Massachusetts at least. He's coming out with a brand new book from Wilderness House Press, and he'll be the full-length feature next week, but he's giving us a little teaser right now. So the Ramdonator 5000 has very fortunately, conveniently selected our feature for next week to start the open mic. Let's give it up for Mr. Randall Barish.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Be my first time, Chad, that I've ever been featured anywhere in my whole life. So it's a great honor, and I'm very excited about it. And really neat. I used to go to Stone Soup years ago when you were in that little remember the little art gallery on Prospect Street? Remember that place was really neat. And I went away and I came back, and now I'm back to stay. I live in Natick, and I got another book coming. So this is like my first, my life dream is to make a poetry book. So I got a Wilderness Press here, and it's great. I'm finally doing what I want, is sharing poetry. And it's a real honor. It really is. So thank you. Thank you for for next week. I appreciate it. And hopefully my goal is to be, to participate in these more often, you know what I mean? Become part of the community of poets and stuff. That's real cool. And great to be here, folks. And I'm looking forward to tonight's reading with Dexter.
Do you have a poem for us, Randy?
Oh, I got a lot of poems.
Well, if you want to give us a preview of next week, let's hear it.
All right. Well, let's see. I gotta pick one here. Pick a good one. I don't know, one that's really cool. Okay, I got one for you. This was an old. I'm into the paranormal. That's one of my interests. I like the paranormal and ghost, and I go to ghost hunts and stuff. So there's this haunted hotel in Miami, in Coral Gables, when I lived in Florida. And when I went in there, it was like, you know the movie The Shining? Well, walking in there was just like The Shining, the same vibe. Anyways, I wrote a poem about it called The Biltmore, because I used to go there a lot. So The Biltmore. It's That's the name of the hotel. The Biltmore looms, stuck in a moment of opal stillness, serenading the wind, memories of another time, frozen in the October humidity, melancholy shades wandering its corridors in silence, its Moorish tower standing ageless in the billowing emptiness, Biltmore's orange prism, pristine pure in the roar of sylvan centuries, its voices frozen in echoing stillness, the golden lintels fade, yet their mystery faces smile across the virgin palms, hiding secrets that drift like faint whispers from dark, empty rooms, across the meadow mist to merge with the rising moon. That's it.
Thank you, Randy. And as the saying goes, there's more than where that came from. Hope to see you all next week for Randy's feature. First full-length feature. I'm honored. We're honored once again that for Snowsuit being the first for another person. Let us go now to our phone participant who can unmute herself and press *6. While she's doing that, I'll say that Carol is doing well health-wise. She's been seeing a lot of doctors for various reasons, but she is doing very well right now. She regrets that she can't join us. She has teased us saying the next time she's here, she's going to sing. So we'll see what that sounds like, because I don't think I've ever heard her sing before. So that'll be exciting, hopefully next week. But until then, let's welcome up her partner in crime on the phone circuit of this Zoom call. Welcome up Nancy Dodson.
The bite. The dog bit me slowly and deliberately. The blood spilled over my arm to the ground and bandaged it up. She was in tears. I was shocked, numb to the feelings. My friend left. I lay down. My arm gently hurt. I lay there thinking of the dog and her habits. I decided she was an actress. I really did not know what the dog had ideas and feelings. I really did not know why she bit me. Yes, she might bite me again. I lay there as I thought and thought. I would love the dog, and I did not want to destroy her. I did not want to destroy myself as well. The dog licked the blood and wanted more. I was afraid, and then she'd bite me again. My change purse fell to the floor. Blood leaked out all over it. The dog on the purse. The alarm clock rang. I turned it off and awakened from the noise of the alarm clock.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Appreciate you coming by as always. Hope you and Carol can be reunited at least via the phone next week. And of course, you're welcome here anytime. We're going to go now to another person who hasn't been with us for a little bit. She's been braving the heat, and now the hurricanes are finally cooling down the earth. So I guess that's a positive. Reminds me of Johnny Carson when he called into Letterman the first time since his retirement. And he was calling from California at the time in the 90s. And David's like, "How you doing, Johnny?" He goes, "Oh, it's great. The mudslides are putting out the forest fires." So that's my feelings with the incoming hurricane weather. I hope all of you stay safe, regardless of where you are along the East Coast or wherever else. And now let's welcome up Patricia Kerrigan.
Right. Oh, I'm glad it cooled off a bit here. Thank you. I'm going to read something gory. Goes with my mood. Film noir. The scene was film noir. A man and woman sat in a parked car. The man was in the driver's seat. The woman was next to him. They looked at each other without saying a word, but this was not a love story. The woman's face was bloodied. The man's hands were lacerated. On the back seat, the baby was silent, but we don't know if he was asleep or dead. It was too dark to see if he was covered in his own blood or in the man's or woman's. We don't know if the man or woman were his parents or kidnappers, or why the man's hands were lacerated and why the woman's face was bloodied, or why all three characters were in the car, or why this was not a love story. The scene suddenly shifted and the car went off the cliff. And the dreamer woke up before the mystery was solved. Thank you. Lacerated hands goes with my mood.
And many other people's moods, I'm sure. But thank you so much for coming by to our reading tonight, Patricia. It's been a while. Let's welcome up next, not only straight from his work day, but also straight from a recent podcast for the Oddball Foundation. He is here with us tonight after having done a benefit podcast for someone, and he is here tonight. I'm just going to keep on talking until he unmutes himself and turns his camera on. And okay, he's not there. Okay, so I am going to bring it over to, let's see who the Remninator has picked up next. There he is.
Here. I just need a minute to grab a poem.
No
So-
worries.
So 1 second. About 5 minutes, yeah.
You want 5 minutes? Okay, good. All right. So in lieu of Jason Wright needing to find a poem, we're going to go to Mr. Robert Fleming.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a writer and graphic artist from Delaware, and I'm going to share the screen.
Whoop, let me help you with that.
Thank you.
You're good.
Thank you. So the other day when I was on the treadmill in the gym, I was watching Lauren Lake's Paternity Court, and this was the inspiration for this piece. This is called The First Paternity Test. And then another one of my recent activities is I submitted to a literary magazine called Moon Ascending, and I found out that they were only accepting text pieces, but I created several graphic pieces which they would not take, so I'm just going to share them. This one is called The Moon White to Black to White. And this is a series I created just for that publication, but they aren't taking visuals. This is called Apollo 11 in 1969 discovers pizza dough craters on the moon. And this is called Moon Crust Pizza Cures Howling. And this one, Pizza with Moon Peppers Causes Jealousy. And the last one, Pizza with Moon Shrooms is a Narcotic. Thank you for letting me share some of my visual art combining the moon with pizza. Greetings from Delaware. And when we all get to the moon, there'll be a pizza ready for all of us.
If only all of us had your optimism. Thank you so much, Robert, for your contribution tonight. And now for something completely different, or the same thing, but just in a different voice. It's hard to tell sometimes. Let's go now to Mr. Bill Lewis.
I am so happy that you chose me at this moment in time, Chad. If it weren't this, I would have jumped off of the roof. I would have been so depressed having not been called early on. But just in time, you saved me from an early and unfortunate end. So everybody, hail to Chad. Good old Chadford. Yeah, so I live in Idaho now. And small town in Idaho, 1,754 people. I own a vast 20 acres of not very farmable land on a hillside, but there it is. It's mine. I wasn't expecting this. It was weird that I ended up here, but there it is. And so what do you do when you're out in the boonies? I don't know. I climb up my hill. I have my own hill. So I climb up the hill, I sit down there, and I pretend like I'm going to write poetry. And every now and then something comes out. I'm not sure if it actually counts as poetry, but oh well, who cares? Is that an eagle soaring quietly over my trees, turning slow, lazy circles in search of a snack? It's not a falcon, not a buzzard, not a hawk, an osprey, an albatross? Got to be an eagle. Maybe it's even a bald one. There's some frogs making out down there by the creek, or they're looking to make out, or perhaps they're celebrating having just made out. Anyway, there are frogs, lots and lots of very noisy frogs, and crickets, and breezes that whisper their sweet nothings to the pine trees that shudder in anticipation. That's all I can hear. I don't think we're in Cambridge anymore, Toto. I can't walk anywhere. Even nowhere is 3 miles away. No transit, no Uber, no car, no go. But I can see the stars at night and smell the skunk as I write. A tiny, tiny bit of skunk isn't so bad. It's interesting for a minute or two. More, it becomes very sad. Sitting alone on my hillside, riding, thinking alone, on my tiny farm that nobody wanted, abandoned just for me to take over and resuscitate. Sitting here talking to eagles and writing poems.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. We're going to come to Jason Wright in just a moment, but before that, we're going to make sure he has enough of a window. We're going to go to Jackie Chow from Parts Well Known, because she already just told us, but here you go, Jackie.
Hi, Chad. Okay, so we can read 2 poems, right? Okay, so I'm going to read a new one, and then I'm going to read an older piece. The first one I'm going to read, it's called The Star. You are the man from down the hall, a man saying hello, and that is all. The stars, they're so far away, you reach for them with the songs you play. You pluck the strings of your old guitar, the notes that follow are off by far. The stars, they're so far away, you reach for them with the songs you play. Your voice pulls at my heartstrings. I listen closely every time I hear you sing. The stars, they're so far away, you reach for them with the songs you play. Okay, this is a rather new piece. And then I'm going to read a poem that appeared in Spectrum 15, Don's Kingfisher Campbell's publication, and the theme was to write a poem about a movie. And here's mine. The Dowager Empress. Mother, mother, where are you taking me? Must we pass again that fenced playground where children my age speak English and play tetherball? Even with my head down, I can hear their shrieks, their feet thumping the ground as they chase one another. Mother, mother, I am not presentable. My green embroidered shirt is stained with soy sauce. I don't know the kids' games. Mother, mother, where are you taking me now? Must we go again to that rundown theater with gum-spotted carpet? There, the Empress's enemies are dragged away to have their limbs cut off and thrown into jars, their faces pale and hair unruly. Mother, mother, please hold my hand. Tell me it's all make-believe. This childhood you've created, these movies you take me to. Thank you.
Well, that's a harsh childhood. But thank you so much, Jackie. Could you tell me what the title of the poem was again? Because it kind of broke at one point.
Oh, okay. It's called The Dowager Empress.
Dowager Empress. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Chad.
You're welcome. And who do we have next? Oh, yes. The poet with a hip hop soul, but these days he's more straight out of Canton than straight out of Compton. Let's go to Mr. Jason Wright. You're doing the camera thing, but you really need to unmute. Dude, are you going to unmute?
I'm unmuted.
Okay, now you are. Okay,
How's it
it's
going
your
right here?
turn.
Okay, here we go. This one is called yeah, hold on. Nothing More. It's called Nothing More. Actually, let's do this one. This one's called Stars and Sea. When I felt hopeless, I read Cosmic Theory. When I felt sadness, I read about the sea beneath me. It made me more sad and I stopped reading. But though I may never touch a star or swim to see those freaky fishes, if I had 3 wishes, I would wish to explore to the bottom of the sea, to the top of the heavens, and then with the one wish, I would give it to you. So I could say I did something for someone else instead of being myself-ish. And then this last one. Microphone. Sing me a sonnet. Let me catch your honesty. Let me hear your prayer epiphany. Let me hear something elevate me. Lift me over everything I never wanted to be. I can't see this. It looks like smoke-filled hallways, bending roads, blaring alarms, water too shallow, yet I drown. So I get back in the water, take a step into the deep end, let the waves wash over me, cleanse the demons breathing. Let chakras open and release them, say I don't need them. Which wolf wins, the thin one, the fat one? It's the one that you're feeding. So I try to make the thin one as full as the fat one, but I'm goddamn bulimic. So I do my best as I can only do and say fuck it and keep feeding them. Because we can't be free from everything. What is yin without the yang? Balance is what I need the most. Let the ghosts and ghouls remain. I can't let myself see both sides, sing the songs, the same refrain. Release yourself from mental slavery. Only one can free our mind. It's the one that is in our heart and head, and let the sunshine on all sides. Let the perfect go insane. That's it.
Thank you, Jason. And can you tell us a little bit about what your podcast was like? So when I link it up tomorrow, people look at it.
Oh man, I appreciate that. So I just interviewed Howard Trackman. He is someone who's looking for a kidney. He's a huge NAMI and mental health advocate. And he's done a lot of stuff in the last 30 years, and he's looking for a kidney right now. So if you check out the last Oddball show, now it's streaming on Facebook on the Oddball Foundation page. You can see it, and if you can't donate a kidney, just share it along. It would really help. And if you do want to donate a kidney by any chance, I'm looking at you, Bill Lewis. If you want to donate a kidney, go to the kidney center for kidneys, and you can learn how to donate a kidney, Bill, especially Bill. But you can find that out more on the Facebook and on the Oddball Foundation page. And honestly, yeah, in all seriousness, it would be really great because he's doing a lot of advocacy work. He's been doing it for 30 years. He's heavily invested in a lot of things like the Stop the Shot campaign in Massachusetts, as well as he does this thing called into Into the Arts or something like that, or I forgot what it was called, but basically it's low price tickets for arts and stuff like that, and opening the doors to the arts. So he's just doing a lot of good stuff. He's a good guy, and he's looking for a kidney. So that's what the Oddball show is about. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you. And that'll be linked on oddballmagazine.com tomorrow. And it's probably on the Oddball Foundation YouTube page right now as we speak. So again, inquire to the Kidney Center for Kidneys. I guess you want to confuse it with the Kidney Center for liver transplants. I have no idea. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why you singled out Bill. I'm sure there's a couple of other people here with perfect matches, but I guess you'd want to go to Bill naturally. I'm still stuck on his Kidney Center for Kidneys. Anyway, let us go now to, let's go further down to our list. I am hoping she hasn't been with us for a while. She's a past Stone Soup feature, and I'm hoping she reads with us. I haven't seen anyone say no in the chat, so I'm hoping Tazinia Pinchback is able to read a poem for us tonight.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey there. I'm taking a much needed break from the world's worst project at work to be here. So I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
So-
We're glad you are too.
I will read a love poem in honor of Mary Oliver's birthday this past weekend. Primitive. But really, he said, it never is about a swan. Not that swans aren't perfect enough to have poems written wholly about them. I'll come all the way to you, read to you, he said, after I turned down his invitation to meet at North Springs, the station halfway between his house and mine. I have Prosecco and cupcakes, he said, loudly as if screaming his offer, and a little at the rattling engine of the car he was in, a vehicle time shared with some girl he saw off and on. I imagined him pulling onto the downtown connector, Georgia Tech's stadium and the Coca-Cola sign in his rear view, 32 miles from Hotlanta, Chocolate City, to exit 11 on the state highway, winding northbound into new money white suburbia, the New South. I'm lost, he said, an hour later. I talked him through the maze of dark streets, each one a mirror of the next, to my door. Greeted him at the curb. Didn't you promise me a swan? I said. I promised you love. That's a terrible line, sir. He came in. We drank champagne from the bottle as he read to me. Faded and ripped jeans frayed at the cuff and banana yellow flip-flops. Mary's lyric staining his ripe plum lips. I found his bony wrist, pecked him there, his throat exposed and full, another peck. His chest puffed out, my tangle of hair smooth. He bowed to find my mouth, and we exploded into a plume of feather. No moon, only honeysuckle, a syrup of night air around us, and Mary Oliver, dog-eared and splayed out on the bed behind us. Thank you.
I like that a lot. And kudos for getting a word like honeysuckle in a poem in the 21st century and having it sound natural. I give you much kudos. And also John Wesick was giving you kudos for Hotlanta. Perfect reference probably to it, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Massachusetts won't have a similar nickname. It'll be Sweaty Massachusetts or something like that. But thank you so much for your contribution.
Thanks.
Up next, I want to try and go to, we have one or two new people here. Let's see if anyone's interested in joining in. I see a Norma Penny there. If you're interested in reading a poem, you are more than welcome to. And you're muted right now, so if you're saying yes or no, I can't tell, especially since I can't read your lips because you're a Kilroy down there with like that.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
I was actually talking to Norma Penny, so it looks like she
Ah,
doesn't want to
good,
read.
good.
So, okay, so she's good. All right, so we can go to you now that you've said something, Mr. Nemo Sum, if you're interested in reading.
I would love to. Thank you.
Fantastic. And please, I don't think I've seen you here before, so introduce yourself a little bit if you'd like.
Sure. I'm Nemo Soom. Yeah, Robert Fleming, I know you. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a member of the Guerrilla Poets, and I like to focus a lot on micro poetry. Nemo Sum in Latin means I am no one.
Well, if you'd like to read a few poems now, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I would love to.
Awesome.
My mind palace is a labyrinth of my own devising. Halls of neurons twist away into the darkness in all directions from where I stand. So perfect was my design that I cannot escape. And those brave souls who come looking for me become hopelessly lost. There's something in here that feeds on flesh. I see its horns in the mirror sometimes, and I'm never far from its hot and wretched breath. Perhaps I built the maze to hold the monster. I know the ascent all too well. Slopes painted with my spent blood, scattered with the banners of past rallies. It's my heart's deepest desire to get to the top of the hill. But there's this boulder, and it is with me wherever I go. Pushing the great rock upwards has carved grooves in the dirt. And sometimes I follow them. Sometimes I make new ones. And sometimes I want to change the path, but the boulder gets stuck in ruts. I find myself having to repeat a route I know will end in failure. And I'll watch the boulder roll back down, crushing everything beneath it, bringing me back to the bottom, looking up, feeling scared. Gotten to the top before, but I found a wicked man whose face I've seen in the mirror. So I pushed him, and I felt him fall, and I dreamt that my world was tumbling, and I woke at the bottom, feeling scared. I'm staying focused on the work this time, keeping my head down. I can feel the weight of the burden shifting as my will grows stronger and the climb begins again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nemo Soom. Is that the same guerrilla poets that were birthed in Boston and elsewhere with the help of Jana Kastuki and others?
I'm not familiar with them. The chapter that I'm part of is Shane Maynor here in Charlotte.
Interesting. Well, there
Yeah,
might be.
I wasn't aware there was someone doing it in Boston, so check that out.
Yeah, I don't know how much there is online, but there are anthologies. You can look at Speak These Words, a Guerrilla Poets anthology. Just like the last poets, there are many fractions these days. So, but thank you for introducing us to yours. So thank you so much. Up next, we're going to go to Mr. John Wezek.
Thanks, Chad. Here is a Mickey Spillane parody that appears on that bastion of fine literature called Horror Sleaze Trash. I, the Hammer. What kind of sick bastard would run over a retired police dog? I stared at the trail of blood the golden retriever had left on the pavement as he tried to crawl to the sidewalk. I know you and Duke were close, Captain Rex Barkless said. He saved my life in Nam. Lost his leg jumping out of the Huey I was flying to deflect a surface-to-air missile. I can understand killing a cat because cats suck, but a dog? You know, most cat owners don't even like guns. Barkless touched the revolver on his hip. Not even Betsy. I removed the 45 from my shoulder holster. I'm gonna find who killed Duke and put a few dozen slugs in his testicles. Not if I get him first, Mallet. I don't have to follow the rules that coppers do. Besides, I'll save the taxpayers the cost of a jury trial. How much you want to bet I'll get him first? Steak dinner? You're on. Barkless walked to the squad car. Sorry for your loss, ma'am, Barkless said to Duke's bereaved dog mom. He was a good boy. Would you like a cup of herbal tea? Hortense Hamantashen struggled to rise from the floral upholstered chair with doilies on the armrests. She was in her late 70s with bones thin as number 2 pencils. Hortense limped to the kitchen. After banging pots, she returned with a teapot and cups. Would you like milk? I'll take mine straight, just like my women. I drained the cup of boiling chamomile in one gulp. Did anyone want to hurt Duke? Barkless tried to hide his frown as he sipped the herbal tea. Oh, Hortense held an index finger to her chin. I can't think of anyone. Cut the crap, Granny. I backhanded her, sending Hortense's dentures flying into the potted plant. I drew my 45 and held it under her chin. Duke was a friend of mine. When I find his killer, I'm going to put a half dozen slugs in his genitals, pour molten lead in his eyeballs, and make him listen to Miss Edna Chilbane's, author of the epic poem Robinson Crusoe and that damn hangnail. The same goes for anybody who gets in my way. Now spill it. Sometimes he'd board the number 47 bus and ride it down to Hickenlooper's Tavern on Delirium Street. Everybody loved him, and the bus driver let him ride for free. Without her dentures, Hortense slurred her words. He was also working as a therapy dog at the Pediatric Cancer Center. Looks like I'm one step closer to that steak dinner. I holstered my 45 and spoke to Barkless. I'll hit the hospital. You check out the bar. When a police officer makes detective, the taxpayers pick up the tab for his theme song. A private investigator with a movie deal might get the studio to buy him something like Harlem Nocturne. With my budget, I had to raid the public domain. I chose a kazoo playing the 1812 overture and added a recording of a few rounds from my 45 for the cannon blasts. When driving in Texas, I'd even shoot a few holes through the roof of my rented pickup. Anyway, the theme played in the background as I drove to the hospital. I parked my Camaro in the emergency room zone and walked through the sliding doors. Juvenile malingerers who'd shaved in a pathetic attempt to avoid working in the coal mines roamed the pediatric cancer ward on the second floor. Name's Mike Mallet. I showed my PI license to the receptionist. Give me the medical records of every patient you've treated in the past decade. Sir, you're not a policeman and have no authorization to subpoena medical records. This is my authorization. I drew my 45 and held it to her face. Security! And I will leave it there. You can read the rest in the link that I'm posting in the chat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, John, and thank you for the inspiration for the Fritz the Cat poem I did last week. It's not. I didn't think I would do Fritz the Cat fanfic at age, but you know, such is my life.
Those are good times with Fritz.
Good times. Good times. I do have So we do have someone who just joined us, and I was wondering if she would want to read the other half of the Poetry Power couple, formerly in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Their Loss. Would Tony B be interested in reading for us tonight? Uh-oh. Well, maybe she'll come back a little later. For now, let's bring it to the Pulse of Stone Soup.
Hi, Chad. Oops.
Oh, there she is. There she is. Tony, would you be interested in reading?
No, thank you. I'm gonna let my husband do his thing and keep listening to everyone else. I heard
Okay.
honeysuckle. I heard, there go Dexter. I heard honeysuckle. I heard boulders. I'm happy.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, Tony. It's great to see you. And now back to the Pulse of Stone Soup and the Pulse of the Poetry Scene, Mr. Ethan Mackler. Thank you very much, Ethan Mackler. I do want to remind people coming that people here tonight that we do have another feature on September 20th, next Wednesday, with Randy Barish, who, if you were here at the beginning, you got to hear a taste of his new work from his first poetry collection, Garden of the Mind, published this summer by Wilderness House Press. Hopefully there'll be an announcement for the last feature of September. I got a good one if they say yes, and I have a good one for October. And they have said yes. I'll be posting their information probably no later than this Friday. Their name is David R. Surratt, multiple time published author from Malden. He has a brand new book out and has been already in the process of promoting that live and online. He'll be joining on our online circuit, and we'll look forward to having him again. He's an old friend to the venue, and I'm looking forward to it. Been trying to get him back for a couple of years now. Up next is our main feature for tonight. I get to read the boilerplate, which is exciting. We have Dexter Roberts. Dexter Roberts' interest in art began with comic books, which spurred him to sketch, draw, and eventually paint. His artwork consists of abstract, text, symbolic, and symptomatic depictions, primarily dealing with perception, representation, and language. Poems surfaced in Dexter's art upon recognizing that words also had the power of, quote, splattering the mind with images. The painter-poet is from Guyana, South America, and has lived in Boston most of his life. Dexter Roberts has appeared in or has curated numerous art shows and poetry readings around Boston and Cambridge, and is working on his first book of poems, Freestyle Slave Style, due out next year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have you put your hands together, let's say 30, 40 times, both virtually and physically, for Mr. Dexter Roberts.
Myself. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, Chad. It's great to read. Last I read was at Longfellow House. Ooh. So I'm gonna read some poems tonight. I'm gonna also have some art, in combination. And I just showed my little friend Spider-Man here, and I've always been fascinated by superheroes and the mask itself and what's hidden and what's beneath. So I'm gonna read poems. Oh, I'm gonna read like a couple of poems, then I'm gonna get up and show my art on the wall. All right, so let's get started, guys. All right. Freestyle, drum toe tap, trimmer lines, veins, nerves, pump, bulge, flex, step, stroll, glide, moon face, pear waist, every drop, bone marrow, Mary, oxygen, nose hair, back breaker, neck biter, everlasting blinking, picture taken, shots in the gray shadows, lightens, contours illuminates, pressure points taken, then given. So freestyle is a form of hip hop. And to me, freestyle comes from, it starts with chaos. To me, it's chaos. And then you're trying to bring something out. You're like looking for a solid identity. And so my next poem is going to be, I want to be killed. Not killed for no reason, but not beat up or thrown in jail, killed. Like going to the store, a car slowly creeps out the window, killed. I don't want my job to be taken or my money or my family. Killed, dead. In a restaurant, me and my wife, she ordered glass over her dress, blood, killed. Not because I write, you have spinach between your teeth. No, no, no. No long life, no slow disease death. In my wife's arm at my art show, because I said, we all must love one another. Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson, who you guys don't know, if you don't know, is the editor of the Daily Bugle, and he's one of Spider-Man's harsh criticism. And his main thing is that, why does he wear that mask? Why does he have to conceal himself? Why can't he just be, show his face? I don't know what, the mask always frightens people. I would be frightened too, because you don't know who he is, but he saves lives. So my next poem, I think Jesus came back. I know he came back. You don't think so? He's here. Can't you tell? His staff, because he's a shepherd, it's sort of like media or entertainment. It leads and guides us. I mean, what would y'all think that he would say? Would he be surprised how we're living? This is what I think he would say. I knew life would be like this. Soon as I saw the Roman soldiers coming for me, I knew we would be living like this. And when they put me on the cross, the nails through my hands, I knew we'd be living like this. My God, these are great fries. Oh my God. What is this place called? McDowell's? Yeah, I like him. So if you think I'm gonna cry and get angry and yell and scream, why? How? I sacrificed myself for you guys. And this is how you guys are living? You want me to call y'all sinners and pimps and harlots and thieves and killers, chase the money? No, too late for that. My God, these fries. Wow. Me, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get out of these rags, a shower, a shave, get some weed, a ride, and a big fat woman. But first, I'm gonna get some more of these fries. Wow. I mean, I don't have any money though. But if you buy me some, I'll grant you a wish. So, so what I'm gonna do right now is gonna show you some of my paintings. And my trusty assistant will help me. So this one is it's also about the mask and about the covering. And it's about how sometimes when my mom told me about this, is like when you're like, when you pay your bills, you will put on a certain voice, you put on that white voice. So sort of like putting on a mask. So it's the happy black face. And this is the pixelation. You remember pixelation? When they used to like want to cover over something that, you shouldn't be seen. So yeah, this one is interesting.
Again, I don't think they heard you.
Oh, you want to mute? Okay,
We heard
guys.
you. We heard you. We heard you.
Okay.
And so moving to the next image.
Just trying to turn this volume down. Can you put on
And so this one is also in the superhero vein, but it's like the mask is really the person's color. You know, this skin. Instead of the mask being red, the mask is black, representing their color. And so this is what's special about the person. The person has this unique color. So yeah, that one is interesting too. Yeah, that was nice. And okay, no, I want to go back to reading. So I'm gonna go back to. You see, you got it? Yeah. Back again. So yeah, the relationships, and you know how we sometimes have to pretend and put on a mask, you know. But I had this interesting exchange with I was buying some cookies at this place, and I'm just gonna read it for y'all guys. And it's in dialogue, so I'm gonna call out the person speaking, and then read what they say, and then so on and so forth. You, hi. Me, hi. You, how are you? Me, good. How can I help you? You, me. You, are you gonna? Me, how are you? Them, sir, are you? Us, how are you? Them, are you gonna buy something, sir? Us, not until you tell me, how are you? Them, good, I guess. You guess. We, yeah, I'm good, sir. Are you? You asked me how you asked me how I am, right? So I'm just asking you back. Me, oh, okay. You just asked me to ask me? Me, it's normal to ask, how are you? I'm just, but isn't it normal to ask back? To answer back, how are you? Them, are you gonna order, sir? Us. Them, sir, are you, if not, us? You, sir, I. Thank you. So yeah, it's about, you know, like me, for instance, I think a lot of us wear masks, and you know, but which is, you know, they say the mask is false, but which is the truth? You or the mask? Me, Dexter the employee? Me, Dexter the husband? Which one is real? All right, so I have another one for you guys. Automatic correct stole my checking to see if I spelled the word wrong. He really stole it. Yeah. I mean, I still do know how to search. I still do know how to check. But with him automatically shouting out the correct spelling, I fear I may lose the habit, the skill of looking, going to the dictionary. Well, now it's Google, typing in the word, see the correct spelling, the meaning, then going back to what I was writing. Now, he stole it. I can't believe, wow, he stole it. So yeah, we lose things when, different technologies come into play. What's up, Marshall? Yeah, so but it's all about identity, and sometimes we want to project a certain identity, but the real us takes a step back. But they say the danger in that is identifying with the pretense. Paid for with contributions to your public pressure, pit self and others, dialectic sweet spot. 4, dichotomy salted with personality, or the distant tones of reflection alternate. Binary, hierarchical, branching root another world. Reality evil, others hell dwell, justification, excuse ignore mine, gut feelings, spill, God, oh, too in good. Skyscraper poke, heavens looking, branding new wings, label picks to see menu, category, character. The main course set a frame of referral, limit actual fingers cross, rabbit foot step out the shower. Hours, days, nights, lighthouse, tell there's single light in the kitchen. Dishes, earth, and water, plants, your flag, the mighty pro, bold, like a cockroach, light, avoid, strike like an atomic mutant. The new sun, marvel at my magnetic bent, metal mantle decorator, tour colors congregate, corner lines around to gaze upon a bull locomotive, tank rhinoceros, bunny chipmunk, butterfly, fire, volcanic spring rains, clover, minty, peppermint, spine, book ribs, cage, lungs, whole air supply, blood red oxygen. There goes that freestyle again. Yeah, but there's also the you wear a mask, and there's you and there's the public. But people in the public also wear masks. I don't trust people who don't dig their nose, even in public. Just, just go ahead, dig. There's something about digging your nose. A spiritualness, smoking a peace pipe, a cousin to orgasm, digging, dig. Don't trust him. Like swearing. Who don't try not to hide in, pretending. Probably don't even fart or burp. Can't trust them. They become like a gas-filled, heavy, stationary, unreasonable, unchanging, pig-headed. Won't trust them. Digging your nose is so pleasurable, but yet like a star exploding, mind-blowing, lightning striking, bulbs, eye days, cosmic consciousness, hair, nails, skin, crackling, pulsating, equivocal to digital, spinal tree, mold, cast a reflective light, surge, blink, instantaneous. My hands move. I'm at a stoplight, sitting in my car. No one's looking. Good. Slowly, a car pulls up. My hand was already not halfway, but my hand was already on its way to my nose. I slowly looked over to the other driver, while my hands were still going to my nose. I looked at him. He's looking back at me. For a quick second, I wanted to stop my hands. Don't stop. Go. Dig your nose flashed across my mind from his face. A smile. No, not a smile. Go ahead, man. Do it. Shit, I'll join you too. So together, we both put our fingers in our noses. Odd that he used his pinky, but whatever. We both had a great dig. All right, I'm gonna show you guys some more of my images.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but both mics are off for the cameras.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So Black has always had this negative and bad connotation in popular culture and philosophy. And so I thought, like, what if I was an advertising agency and Black came to me and I wanted to write something positive to make Black positive? So I did this image where, honey, did you buy a Lamborghini? Of course not, darling. Why? Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson. Yes, that's me. Agent Smith, FBI. We have, what's this about? Sir, we are warrant for your arrest. Ma'am, sorry, your card. It's coming up declined. How? I just put money. Has this ever happened to you? Embarrassing, right? Don't let this be you. Protect yourself with Black. The safest way to protect your information. Black, the only word that won't say a peep. Because we don't snitch. All right, so and this one is a recent painting of, it was just a thought that came to me to paint this. It's simultaneous aesthetic, but also there's like symbolism in it. You have the Black, and then you have the white, and the person is seeing beyond the white, out of seeing beyond, so yeah. Sorry guys, I'm gonna go back to reading some poems. Welcome back to the Jerry Spring. Yeah, the mask and the wearing of the mask, and so we don't believe in luck. All we do is fight and fuck. God is an arrow in our balls. Doors are broken, walls are hung. We inhale the depths of the pressure, a galaxy on our pinky, ring sucked as I ran amok, stirring amino acids, sulfur, gamma rays, sun leaf, a warm smile draped with a cape, cod, swim waves, ripples, spine tingle, rain, rising accelerated, puff huffs, brick, houses, stallions, choke on our medallions, scallions, onions, and garlic, chart blood to your heart, attack with compliments and promises. Our mind thinking, your body proving. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think you know, Peter Parker, there's Peter Parker and there's Spider-Man, and they can develop an identity crisis where if Peter Parker, identify too much with Spider-Man, or Spider-Man identify with too much Peter Parker, there has to be some type of balance. COVID gave birth to OnlyFans after a one-night stand with cancel culture. Who knows? He wasn't the only guy she was banging. He says his cousin saw wokeness coming out. He says he saw his cousin wokeness. He says he saw, well, let me start over. COVID gave birth to OnlyFans after a one-night stand with cancel culture. Who knows? He wasn't the only guy she was banging. He says his cousin wokeness saw brokenness coming out of COVID's apartment. Now, COVID's father, anxiety disorder, is none too happy. She's only 37. Plus, cancel culture is poor. Cancel culture asked for a DNA test, although COVID proclaimed cancel culture is the father. Her father, COVID's father, contemplates shooting. Now, this guy, cancel culture, was no ordinary guy. He knew people in low places. So when anxiety disorder complained to social media, his words fell on deaf eyes. Being, some say, cancel culture went to the same college as social media. When anxiety disorder heard this, he grabbed his gun, then went looking for cancel culture. Driving is LGBTQ, yelling, yo, there he go, right there, quick, shoot. Anxiety points, aim. Shoot, yells LGBT. At the same time, racism is going by with his buddy, Black Lives Matter. So anxiety disorder shoots. Cancel culture hurt the sound. Grabs racism, another shot. Racism is hit twice. In the foot, another in the head. Racism's man, Black Lives Matter, shot back, hitting LGBTQ, who crashes into a parked car. Anxiety disorder jumps out, firing wildly at cancel culture, who got shot by racism. Anxiety disorder running in the opposite direction, still shooting, hit racism. Anxiety disorder running, looking in the wrong direction, shooting, suddenly gets hit by a car driven by COVID. All right, so we're gonna go back to some more paintings. Oh,
I wanted to ask a question about that last painting that you showed, that if that's possible.
Yes, indeed.
Is it possible to pop that back up on the screen?
Go ahead. Can you show us one? Which one, sir?
The last one you showed. It had the brown and the white. Yeah, there it is. So
Yeah.
is that sort of where the mouth is that also a hand covering a mouth? It seems like it's a mouth and a hand covering a mouth at the same time.
No, there's no hand. It's just a square. It's
It just,
a square right here, and this is the mouth, but it's
Yeah.
just blobs.
yeah, it also looks a bit like a hand covering a mouth. So I just thought that. I don't know.
Oh no, there's no hand. Hmm. Okay. And this one is about how we're always looking through something, looking through a window, our TV, our phones, a book. They're all square. So, you know, it's like it was an intuition to do the painting. It wasn't any kind of thought or anything that, you know, went into it. It was just like, you know, the accumulated feelings, and then I just express it. And here's another text poem with a text painting with some poems on it. Freestyle. A mild cloud floats above, memories waving, tapping on their watches. A horse leads a blind man by his ears. Sounds funny coming from you, from a guy who whispers. Manners, antimatter, a gunshot in the dark. That nature shows us that magic is the decision whether to keep kissing your hips or write down these thoughts that just popped into my head. All right, and this next image is the same as you know, where the mask and the you know, this is, you know, the yellow is you're special, you're you know, but the mask is, you know, the regular, you know, the regular you know. But really what's underneath the mask is your unique, beautiful self. Any questions, guys? All right, so we will go back to are we in? Yes.
Can you unmute, please, Dexter?
Oh, sorry, guys. So yeah, I have one last poem. It's a poem I wrote when me and my wife took a trip to. See, every summer we try to go to these different New England towns, and we've been to a couple and had beautiful experiences. But there's always you know, I don't know, when you go to places, you always have expectations because you've heard, you know, certain things. So first, let's just say we're white. It may not be needed to be said, yes, we're white. I mean, you want to A and B in your beautiful town of Ipswich. My baby wish it wasn't on, so we didn't once. Soon as we got settled, we went back out. Now, did I say that we're white? The people were nice. First day, fish and chips, little flies. Came at the right time. Rock sitting digestion is getting dark, walking back. Now, remember, we are white. We were on the beach, the hottest day. Some flies, a lot of people. They were great, the people. Afterwards, walk the town. Afterwards, the brown dog. Afterwards, brown dog again. They had some nice little cheers. Man, this town is great. We are white. Remember that hippie calf? These people are nice. Remember when we were smoking? Then some bored Ipswich teens came upon us. And that river, remember? We're black. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Hands together virtually 30, 40 more times for Mr. Roberts. If Dexter has a cash, there we go. If Mr. Roberts has a Cash App or a Venmo he'd like to share with us, we can donate to it anytime between tonight and tomorrow morning. I encourage you to please do just a couple of bucks. Not even asking it to go to me, just have it go to him. So if you have Cash App or Venmo, Dexter, just send it, put it in the chat.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there. And I can share it with the group again tomorrow. Yeah, that was fantastic. When's your next art show, Dexter?
I'll do it.
Tony's good.
I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I got you.
What's happening?
I'm being my husband's secretary. Please wait, Mr. Chad. Please wait.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I haven't anything on the horizon anytime soon. I know fall is coming, all the holidays are coming, and it's really difficult to do stuff because everybody's really concentrated on. Everybody is doing stuff. So I have probably something the top of next year.
Well, definitely let us know and we'll do our best to be there if we're in the area.
Oh, yeah, oh, thank you, thank you. I will share the information. Thank you.
Do you have any other readings coming up?
My wife Tony does. I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, oh yeah, I think that's one's coming like later next week. We'll definitely post an advertisement for that.
Yes.
Feel free to send Cash App to Spidey Dex. Excellent. I will put that into the information tomorrow when we do the waving photo. And before we go, I do want to encourage you to donate to Dexter, please. You know, I try to do these readings free of charge. I pay for the monthly bill for the Zoom. So if there's, at the very least, you guys can send a few bucks to the poets, $3 to $5, cheaper than a drink in a bar these days. I'd appreciate it very much. Thanks to everyone for being an audience. I do want to give props to the one person who came in just as the open mic had ended and we were introducing Dexter. If Mr. Brian Franco wants to read a poem just to send us home, I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Sure. Does it matter if there's a few F words running around in it? Chuck?
No.
Okay, just
No,
making sure.
nothing I do is safe for kids, or at least that's what I say on
Okay.
YouTube.
This is called From Squirrel to Eternity.
Okay.
I saw a squirrel with a pine cone in its mouth twice the size of its head. The squirrel had torn apart the pine cone, so it didn't look like a pine cone, it looked primal, but the squirrel was fluffy and cute. I thought to myself that primal and cute never happened at the same time. I needed a picture. I walked around the corner, and the squirrel was just sitting there in the shade under a bush on a 92-degree Maine July afternoon. I lifted my phone for the photo. The squirrel dropped the pine cone into his little paws and yelled, "Hey, motherfucker! I don't give you permission to take my photo or take film of me to make a fucking meme your fucking human friends will fucking laugh at and post online." He put the cone in his mouth and jetted fast as fury, dodging and weaving a bevy of pine trees like a Heisman Trophy winner. He took shelter in a group of sculpted yews. I knew I'd never get the shot. I walked away, and a pine cone that must have been flying 100 miles per hour hit the middle of my bald spot. As I lay in the grass, concussed and dizzy, the squirrel walked over to me, crossed his arms over his Ernest Borgnine from here to eternity barrel chest, looked me square in the eyes and said, "Take a photo of this motherfucker." Grass, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Franco. And thanks once again to, well, thanks to Tony B for being a good admin for helping with the multimedia portion of this reading. And thanks to, especially for Dexter for putting all the words and all the images together. We'll be very interested down the road in seeing an Etsy page for you and your paintings. That would be fantastic. Let's get that work. Let's get to work on that. And let's all get the cameras on just so we can do the obligatory wave. Bravo indeed, as Bill Lewis says. And be here next week as we welcome back Randy Barish for his first full-length feature ever as a poet. We're glad Stone Soup is his first place for it to be. And we hope you stay tuned for further announcements as they come for Stone Soup for the fall and winter season.
Oh, there you are, something.
Thank you so much again, Dexter. And I'll be reposting the Cash App and the paintings, the painting email address as well.
Thank
And
you, Chad. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Dexter.
having me.
Thank you, guys, and have yourself
Thank
an
you
excellent
guys for
evening.
coming.
Stay tuned for
Thank
the
you.
stay tuned for the YouTube video of this, which we'll be posting up sometime between 8:30 and 9 o'clock tomorrow. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Dexter. Thank you, guys. Have yourself a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Great.